In this video, we are targeting largemouth yellowfish diamonds. If this video helps you catch your diamond, please remember to give it a like. Come back and leave a comment. Let me know you were successful. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Here is my latest catch green first fish at 2212. Here's a diamond and another one. That's four. Last fish at 0029. That's 2 hours, 17 minutes, 16 golds, 4 diamonds. Let's take a quick look at the largemouth yellowfish. For the traits, it's a hard fighter. Expect the last stand as well. For the bait and lure preferences, we are going to use high impact. For bait feeding, middle of the top row, and then minnow to gold hook it. And if you want to cast, I suggest frog or popper. Largemouth yellowfish are very big fish. The maximum diamond is just under 49 pounds. So I'm going to show you several options for the gear to use. The first is from the Mountain Range DLC, and you can see they are on deep discount. It includes the equalizer reel and the ace high rod, and I'll show you directly what the stats are for those. Here is the ace high rod, 33-pound max line strength. Equalizer reel, 30 pounds max drag. Here is the Rushy gear pack. This will give you color variations of 3 rods and 3 reels that I'll show you in detail. Here's one of the 3 Capitan color variations, 33-pound max line strength. Here is the reel. I'm not going to butcher that name, but you can see the max drag is just under 29 pounds. Don't forget the options in the souvenir shop at 500 reputation. The first one to consider is the Cunning Jafar. That gets you to 33-pound max line strength. Don't sleep on the Def Nexus. That's a match rod, also 33 pounds, but extra heavy. And then you have the Pure Champion spinning reel at max drag, 33 pounds. That's 750 reputation. That is the strongest spinning reel in the game until you get to level 90. And then also the Devil's Advocate that will get you to 38 pounds line on a rod. This is the best setup you can use. The Power Nexus that you get at level 100 and the reel that you get at level 90, along with 55-pound braided, the Waggler bobber to move less than the current, the 2/0 gold size hook, and minnow. And now I'm over on my lower level character, and this setup is what I recommend for most folks, probably the easiest strong gear to get for float fishing. This is the gear that you get for doing the main missions in Japan, the Kiror rod and the Kite reel with matching fluorocarbon Waggler bobber, 2/0 gold hook, and the minnow. You can also have a strong lure spinning rig set up, 2/0 spinner, 2/0 frog or popper twitching, all work. I'm not a big fan of casting for these, but if you need to, it does work. And then I'm going to use 2 of the Capitans. I am level 90 on this setup, so I'm using the stronger reel with matching braided, the Waggler bobber, the 2/0 gold hook again, and the minnow. And I'll talk in much greater detail about what to do for the gear. Just wanted to give you a lot of options because I know many folks don't have strong float setups. So make sure you watch the technique session, and that is coming up, and I'll go through in much greater detail what to do for your gear options. For bait feeding, the best option is this heavy, long catapult. We're going to set it up with high impact. If you don't have that, hopefully you have the medium, also with high impact. And if you don't have that, at least equip your hand with high impact. I will talk about those options in greater detail in the technique session, so make sure you watch that part of the video. For optimum environment, you want to start in a daytime server. And for the location, there are two known diamond hotspots in the official Angler Resource Hub. Here's number one, and here's number two. Now, I did a lot of testing at both of these. Number two was substantially better for me. The downside to here is a very strong current, so you have to do a lot of resetting your rigs. But I was talking to Funky Monkey that I was making this video, and he suggested over here, and I had never heard of this as a diamond location, but it turns out it's got some real advantages. And you see how slow the current is here, and it works great for diamonds. So huge shout out and special thanks to Funky Monkey for this location. Here it is. Over here is the main outpost. I grabbed a boat right here from Fricky. This is Fricky's spot. You see up there in the left. You're probably wondering what the heck is a Fricky. I have no idea. I guess it's his boat launch. Here is the boat valet. Grab the boat. Drive all the way up here. Your call. I opted for the North Shore. Funky said he likes the South Shore better. I tried both. I don't think it makes a huge difference. We are looking at this deep zone, really anywhere around here. Funky actually found this new Gritslang location not long ago. You can see where I parked my boat. I want it out of the way. We don't want to be snapping off on the boat or having any problems with visuals, so I ran down the shore to where I am right here. To catch largemouth yellowfish diamonds, start in a daytime server. I recommend the time window of noon to 6 p.m. and then resetting. You can keep going if you're getting bites. For the gear, you want to use a float fishing rig, size 2/0 hook that is gold level with minnow. I'll talk about this more in the technique session, so watch that. You can have 1, 2, 3 of them depending on how many strong float fishing rigs you have. And optionally, you can have a lure spinning rig with size 2/0, also gold, popper available. Make sure you use high impact bait balls to attract the largemouth yellowfish. That is the longest amount of time I've ever spent setting up the technique session, so let's get to some fishing. You want to start by grabbing your long catapult. We're going to put it out near the marker, not quite max. And then if you only have one setup, hopefully you have this Japan gear. If not, use your strongest setup. Now notice in the lower left, as I move too close to the water, the option to put it in the rod holder goes away. So I am going to try and put a cast out near that bait ball. I'm going to open the bail so it doesn't snap back. There is a bug that can cause it to snap back behind you, and then put it in the rod holder. If you have two setups you can use, I'm going to do another one over in this distance to the right towards the deeper zone. Grab another float fishing setup. Make sure I can put it in the rod holder. I was a little too close there. Gonna cast out near that. Let's see how we did. Close enough. Open the bail, put it in the rod holder. If I have 3, I can put another bait ball in the middle there. I could cast if I wanted to. I'm not a big fan of that, but you can certainly do it if you want. I'll talk about that in a second. Now this one's going to be in hand. I put that one a little closer, so let me move it in a little closer to the bait ball. All right. Now this is a gold hook strategy, so it may take a while to get a bite. In fact, I may not get one in the technique session. That's okay. You saw the latest catch green. 10 minutes is not unusual, but 2 hours to get 20. I got 4 diamonds in there. That is perfectly within my window. You could, oh, there we go. Hang on. Let's see what we got. I have 30 seconds. You see the gold circle. So it's not a big rush. I'm going to pull in the in hand and then I'm going to pick it up. And reel that in. This is going to be a gold. I can tell by the tension. And that is okay. We want diamonds, but we'll certainly take golds. Not a problem. We want to work through those golds because they will hopefully spawn a diamond. I do think when you catch a gold, it has a higher percentage of spawning a diamond in its place than, say, a silver or a bronze. This one's coming in pretty easily. There's the last stand. And there's our gold. And you see those bait balls are fading out. So I am going to replenish. Not quite max. I'll put one out here. And I'll put another one in the middle. Put my number 1 setup back out and near that bait ball. Now you're going to have the highest chance at the first bait ball that you shoot out there. So I put my strongest setup over there, and you saw that is the one that hit. I do see a lot hit the middle as well for whatever reason, and they can hit the right too. All right, so I started to say, if you only have the one rig, I still prefer to sit over here because you have that 30-second window. So you can do other things, you know, play on your phone or do whatever you want. You're not stressed about worrying about a hit. You just turn the volume up and listen. You could sit out there in the boat if you wanted. You could park the boat out here and cast all around, shoot the bait ball out, cast through it. I do not like casting for these because I've seen a problem where they will follow that lure all the way up to the boat. It doesn't matter if you're on 1X, you slow it down. You see a big one, it'll chase that lure all the way up and not hit until it expires, and then it will dive down and you can't get that thing to come back. So I vastly prefer to use float fishing for these. Although when you do the gold gear challenge, you're going to be forced to use it. But if you are low level and you only have light gear, your strongest is going to be bait casting. So it's okay to sit out here in the boat and cast all around. You will get them. It's just a lot tougher. And now we've got a nibble on the left one again. But it works. You'll get it eventually. You just won't have the same rate that I like here on the float. We are 6 minutes in and already have 2 bites, so that's pretty solid. You can see even with the gold hook strategy, this works quite well. You could also use silver hook on the middle one if you wanted to. I don't see any need to do that. I want to maximize my chances for that gold that I pull out to spawn a diamond. So I stick with gold, but some people, they don't like the weight, or maybe you're doing challenges. You want to count off those fish. This is much smaller gold. So you're going to do a silver in hand. Up to you, and it really depends on, how many rigs are you putting out here? What's your preference? Everyone's a little different. You watch my videos, you know I like to gold hook whenever I can. So I'm just repeating this same pattern over and over again. Nothing more to it than this. Every few bait balls, you are going to want to pull that in and reset it. There isn't much current here. Now, if you don't have luck here, you can go around the corner here. I had very good luck here as well, but you're going to deal with very strong current there. So every bait ball, you have to pull back and reset. And what I would do here is shoot the bait ball out, and then I would cast upstream, and then it would float through the bait ball. I also want to go over what to do if you don't have that long catapult. So we're going to use the same concept. If you do have a catapult, in this case I also have the medium, it goes out to about 100. So we're just going to make sure on the left we can put it in the rod holder, drop it down a touch, cast over it. You can zoom in to help you line it up. And then we're going to bring it in to roughly line up with that bait ball. As long as you're within about 10 feet or so, it's fine. Put it in the rod holder. If you have multiples, do the same thing with them. So just reel in to line up with the bait ball if you have shorter catapults. Now this is still going to get you into this deep area, so that's okay. If you only have the hand, you see this isn't going to go out real far, about 50 feet. You can do a half cast, so you don't have to reel it all that far, and bring it in to a line. Put it in the rod holder and give that a try. If you're not successful super close up like that, then I would take the boat out to somewhere around the center here and just use the single rod with the half toss. So half toss like this. Of course, I'm too close. Let's see if we can get further away. There we go. Half toss pretty clearly lines up with quick cast. There you see it. So go out in the boat, do the half toss, and then quick cast at the boat. That will work as well. Lots going on here, but it does work, as you'll see coming up in the montage. Stay with the video to watch all the diamonds I caught coming up next. Happy fishing. Have a good one. Please click on the logo bottom left to subscribe to my channel. Check out my other content and don't forget to hit the like button on the video.